Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance, where today we'll be doing the daily challenge of the 16th of May, which is going to be a Lilith run. I don't know where this one's going to go. It's going to go to Mega Satan, it turns out. There's going to be, the nice thing about daily challenges is that you do get to do everything what the daily challenge wants you to do. So we're gonna see some content that we wouldn't ordinarily see this quickly in the run, like Lilith, who has a box to make 2 of each followers for that particular room, which is obviously quite useful against bosses and mini-bosses, but also just particularly difficult rooms. It also makes picking up followers a little bit more useful. We started off with a key so we can go into the boss known as Mega Satan later on. And we're just gonna have a good time with it. There are some unlockables tied to daily challenges, and it's nice to just get those out of the way because, well, I like the idea of the daily challenge. I usually don't bother with it, I suppose. Which might just be more of a me thing. There is little leaderboards, and I don't know how many people cheat in them, if I'm being honest, but usually you will find a couple records which are like beat the level in 0 seconds or something like that, or beat the entire game like that, and it's like, eh. But usually it's not that many for as far as I recall, but that might just also be a popularity thing for the daily challenge, I suppose. There's not really much of a benefit to doing it, whereas there is still a lot of things to unlock for most people, so they just play the game normally instead. But I think there's one for doing a whole bunch of daily challenges. There's one for winning X amount of daily challenges. There might be one for winning X amount of daily challenges in a row as well. There's some stuff like that, so we do at least have to try. And I do honestly enjoy doing runs where you just have access to everything anyway, so it kind of works out for that as well. Might as well check out our shop, which has various things. And I have 0 coins, so yeah, very good. At least the shop no longer requires a key on basement 1, so it's more feasible to actually check it. Occasionally there's consumables in it as well, which you can just pick up, and unfortunately this time it was not the case, but it does happen from time to time. Now, doing the first daily challenge with Lilith, it's not my choice. Lilith is by far not my favorite character, but it is a character that is kind of fun to revisit from time to time, because there is a couple of interesting things about it. I mean, for one, you can't shoot tears out of your eyes because you got a big bandage covering what might just be missing eyes, honestly, but also you have the Cambion something or another, the little red thing to the right there in our item list. I'm just gonna use our box here, which definitely does have its uses, because if I take damage, there's a chance it's going to spawn a follower, and having that with this character obviously is just very good because you keep duplicating your followers all the time, and it just makes it very useful. Now, things I'm really looking for are items that give me item charges during a room, basically. Like if I take damage and I get an item charge, because then I can just keep duplicating my followers. I got a damage up there, which is pretty good, and be taking that with me in the ways to come. And while we do not have a map, we might feasibly be able to find a whatchamacallit, a secret room, but we only have 1 bomb, and that kind of concerns me. On the one hand, I have a decent idea where it might be, simply due to there being various rooms with several adjacent rooms to it with no blocking entryways, basically, so hopefully it's gonna work out. But again, as I've said in the previous run, doing this in the basement has a tendency to just sort of screw over all logic and put the secret room just in a random place in the floor, which is not ideal. But with that, we have a 2 of diamonds, which is going to give us 2 coins right now, which is not really worthwhile. We have the scapular, which could be interesting. If we can get to half a heart, we will get a soul heart in return for that room, and you can do some ridiculous things with it relating to sacrifice rooms if you find one, but you do need to get a certain amount of health for it. I'm just going to try this. And it worked out, so that's lovely. 3 coins. Not amazing. I do not recall if the soul heart in the shop was on sale or not, so we'll just quickly check that out before moving along, and it was not. It was the key, and we already have 5 keys, so I'm not gonna bother with that. But Unfortunately, we'll just have to make do. I could use my 2 of diamonds just so an arcade room spawns on the next floor, or at least it has a chance of spawning. Do I care that much? Not really, so I'm just gonna jump down instead. Hopefully we're not gonna be too cursed this time around. And we're not cursed, so that's lovely. We can instead just do what we want. This room is a lot of fun. You can just move one of the barrels and then you'll have a little safe spot over here that you can fairly safely destroy the barrels in. Needs a little bit of care, but not too much, so that's nice. It does have its uses, because it allows you to teleport like this, and if you get a trinket called the panic button, then it'll, I think, automatically activate when, like, just before you take damage, and you'll just switch places with them. And you'll temporarily be invulnerable as well, like shortly after teleporting, I think. And you do a little bit of damage. Like, there's a lot of good things about it, but I do like the box with Lilith. With every other character, I probably would have done it. And if this character drops the heart, I will probably just grab it with that thing. But unfortunately not. Would have been nice, but unfortunately it is what it is. But it's a tricky one to say no to, for sure. I don't know if it allows me to go into my curse room for free, actually. I'm a little curious about that. Because you do get a little bit of invulnerability from it. Let's try that for a second. I've never tried this before. Yeah, that does work. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, that's good to know. I actually wasn't sure about that. It was a bit of a risk, but it ended up paying off. I don't know if it's going to work both ways. It does. Wow, that's actually really good. Like, there's certain things with this item that you can do. Like, there are certain crawl spaces with otherwise unattainable areas, like unattainable items. And you can get it with that, which is pretty good. But being able to go into a curse room for free, that's actually amazing. Because it does make it a lot more tempting to... Oh, whoops. It does make it a lot more tempting to do that. Was there a tinted rock in that room, or did my eyes deceive me? That's the alabaster box, I believe it's called, and I do not care for it. It takes your soul hearts, turns them into items. If you've picked up enough and then used the item. It also replaced my box, which I don't want. I just don't really want it. That's also not a great room there, but fair enough. Also, I'm not really 100% sure how the scoring system works in the daily challenge either. It's not something I'm going to concern myself with either. Because I really just want the unlockables, and for that I need to win effectively. So that's really all I'm going to be going for. I'm not going to be going for any particular strats to increase or decrease my score in any way. Occasionally I might try to do like a fast run if I have the items for it, but with Lilith, I'm usually a little bit too spooked. That's fine. I think I'll go in. Alright, so the mark's pretty great. The downside with the daily challenge as well is that I can't use mods and I have to try and remember what items do. And I think this is Death's List, which is fine, but I think I'd rather have this instead. It's nice to really just be on soul hearts. It's nice to have the extra damage. And am I gonna... I'm just gonna leave Stitches there, I think. It's such a good item, I'm realizing now, for a variety of uses, but the box is so good. The box is so good. And I'd rather just keep it. I'm just gonna do this big room before dealing with those 3 red chests right there, because I am a little curious about it. But the scapular is gonna be more useful now as well with our situation. I might leave some soul hearts on the floor. There's a tinted rock right there, but I might leave some soul hearts on the floor every now and then to basically just have something left after I use a sacrifice room. Obviously, I don't know if there is a sacrifice room on this floor, but it would be kind of cool if we could just teleport the Mega Satan immediately. It would be a terrible build to do it with, and we'd have like 1 health, which is not ideal, but it would be fun. There we go. That's 1 soul heart. We can pretty much recharge our item entirely in this room, so that's lovely. And let's see if we can do a little bit of damage. Do I need to be at half a soul? Yeah, I think I need to be at half a soul heart, right? To actually make use of scapular. Which I suppose that is a thing I need to actually remember. But again, trying to beat Mega Satan with a build like this is not going to be great, honestly. But you do get decent items in the Dark Room now. Like the starting room now has Devil Deal items instead of just 4 red chests that can contain something or another. I'm just actually going to use the box here as well, because I don't want to deal with this room at all. It's nice to just get those exploding guys out of the way before having to worry about it. Ooh, and we get these cards as well. Oh, I don't remember what this does. Does this remove an item and then spawn 2 or something? I don't fully recall. I'm just going to use it. I am uncertain what that did, but using the cards that have a question mark at the end have a little bit of a different effect than the original card, usually somewhat related to being the opposite effect. And occasionally you'll just have stuff like Wheel of Fortune that definitely changed something. It did something else than I expected, which I guess I could just look it up and add it to the video later. But for now, I'm just going to assume it made that key appear and just leave it at that. For now though, let's deal with these little greed heads. This would be a nice place to have stitches, but at the same time I've been pretty happy with the amount of extra damage that I'm getting out of that box right there, so I'm not going to be too worried about it just yet. Instead, let's just take the damage. See what's inside. There's 2 more red chests. Could be good, could be terrible. And it is a teleport to the Devil Deal. Well, I need to take this, but I kind of want that goat head as well. And that's magic skin, which is interesting. When you use it, it spawns an item, but it also makes one of your heart containers unusable. And it also somewhat drastically increases the chance of magic skin being in everywhere else. Just all over the place. And it's interesting for sure, but it's I don't love it. It's probably pretty good in certain situations, especially with some characters. I think was it the Lost? Tainted Lost, one of those that can just get like 12 items out of it without really having to worry because they don't have health anyway, so at least they won't get that negative effect. But the magic skin being all over the place thing it's just very awkward, and I don't love that too much. So right now I'd rather just not bother with it. I guess occasionally we might actually see items that I haven't even seen yet, which is going to be exciting. Because I quite simply have not unlocked everything on my main file either, so hopefully the daily challenges are going to shed some light on the things that I haven't seen. I am starting to get the idea that there might not be a sacrifice room on this floor, but we haven't seen all of it yet. I might take some damage on purpose. That's what I was trying to say, for real. To activate the scapular and get to 1.5 hearts, because that was it's a little dicey to be at a heart number like that, to be at 1 health, because then you might just die, and that would be such an unfortunate end to a run, I suppose. I'd rather not have that happen. Alright, well, there's the glowing hourglass that I wanted in the previous run. I'm gonna leave that soul heart here for now, along with the other one right there, and see if we can still find that sacrifice room. It could still be useful. I think there's still that tinted rock in the big room at the start as well. There's some hoppy boys, which isn't great, but we dealt with them, so it's fine. My super secret room could be here, I think. Might also be in a bomb left though, and then it's gonna be awkward. I'm just gonna try a couple bombs here, I think. Maybe one of these. Ah, no, never mind, it's right here. Very good, a lot of hearts, super cool. So I guess we're just gonna go over here. Still technically chance of a whatchamacallit. Yeah, a thingy who done it. A sacrifice room. Because this floor apparently never ends. Surprised how big this floor actually is. This isn't an Excel floor, is it? Because this is just caves. We've been here for like at least a century at this point, and I feel like we're not getting any closer to any rooms. It is Excel. That's why it's so big. I guess the super secret room really didn't need to be there then either, because fair enough. I guess it also explains why the boss room was next to the first room. I didn't even comment on that, I just sort of accepted it. Which is fairly unlikely in a regular floor. But I guess I could have just done the boss at that point then as well. Probably should have, but it's fine. No concerns. Although, I probably should do it just for the sake of getting my item recharged for the next boss then. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Also, hey look, sacrifice room. Whoop. Ooh, I got a shield. Also, taking damage like this, pretty great with my Cambion combustion or whatever it's called, because it's going to make a lot of friends. Probably not great for my score though, because I think it goes down every... No, it doesn't actually go down when I take damage. Fair enough. And it did. Might just be non-self damage, I suppose. What is that? I do not know what that is, and I want it. Deliver me from evil. I'm genuinely not sure. I'll once again try not that to the end of the video, I suppose. Explosive. So I could technically just keep doing that and eventually just teleport to the dark room. I'm just gonna do this one more time, I think. There we go, that's the one you want to see. And that's 2 item rooms that I was looking for. Also, we have an extra friend now who does the little circle effect right there, which is going to be nice from time to time. It's not as good as it once was, because it no longer makes black hearts, unfortunately. But it's nice to have. My build is going to be entirely based on just a bunch of garbage. I'm just gonna take all these and continue with the run, I think. I still think it wouldn't be a terrible idea to just try and go to Mega Satan like this, just to speed it up a little bit. It's not a great idea either. I'm just gonna see what's over here, I suppose. There is the Forsaken, which is always a good time. Not really worth using the box on, I suppose. Because this fight sort of does itself once you know how to do it. Just running around in a circle. There is experimental treatment there. I'm really tempted. I should not have picked up that thing immediately. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're going to experiment a little bit, because one thing that I keep forgetting to check is if a half heart actually is good for the sacrifice room or not. I'm not sure if there is a half heart on this floor. And there might not be. I'm already bored of actually trying that out. But this is the thing I'm curious about, if you actually lose the skeleton heart thing when you do that. But, maybe. Might be. I guess I could just fight this boss as well, because there's not really a reason not to do so. Let's peep as well, and that's always everyone's favorite time. Will he dodge? So far, yes. It is unlikely I will not take damage during this fight, because Peep has really been the one consistent factor of bosses I'm just not great at. Since the dawn of Isaac, this is the one boss where I've never really felt super confident about it. But there we go, actually worked out. Fair enough. Alright, so let's take that. That's going to put that over there. This is still a goat head, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the thing, I think. Just gonna do some nonsense right here, just to see if we can make this one a quick one. Because it would just skip a lot of things. It's not a great build for sure, but it would be funny though. Like, the box will probably carry us through that fight just fine. We have pretty much full health as well. We're fine. I don't see anything that could possibly go wrong. The only thing that matters is how long is it gonna take before it actually teleports us? And that might be a while, unfortunately. Also, I guess I should keep that half a soul heart for the sake of the scapular as well, to just have a little bit more health for the fight. Although I have a red heart container, so that doesn't actually work. So, fair enough, I suppose. Is there a blood donation machine? No, there isn't, I don't think. Oh well, let's see if this works out. Nope. One more attempt, then. The only real downside of this strategy is that I think it's a 50% chance you get teleported to the dark room at this point, after you've taken this amount of hits. And yeah, I'm just not very good at flipping coins from time to time, so yeah, there you go. I could probably just destroy some of the proofs to see if there's some hearts nearby. This could very easily fail. I truly am not confident about fighting Mega Satan like this, but I'm too curious not to try, you know? But truth be told, if I could just grab all the hearts and put them in that sacrifice room, I'd be a happier person in general. Oh, there's so many red hearts here. So we're going to have a lot of chances at this, so that is lovely. Clearly not the quickest strategy the world has ever come up with, but because, my god, at this point you start to make those thoughts that are like, if I had just done the regular floor, I would have had all these items and probably would have been there quicker. However, it is the depths, and then also the womb, and then also probably Cathedral or Dark Room. I actually don't know if it puts you on a set path to one or the other. Oh my god. We're gonna be here for a moment. The thing is, like, I'd like to have the red hearts as well for the Dark Room. Oh, I just had a thought. What if it doesn't actually work during this because we're meant to go to the Cathedral? Then I suppose I will just be walking back and forth here a lot, huh? Without any real... Oh no. Oh, that would be so disappointing if that's actually the case, because then I've just been walking back and forth for no reason because we were going to the Cathedral instead. No, it does actually say Dark Room. Never mind. It actually says DR next to the Mega Satan head, so I guess that would imply that this should work, right? Surely. However, if it fails one more time, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest. Because, my god. I feel like there's no way for it to fail this many times. Surely not. I'm just gonna try it one more time. But I suppose it is very possible that it is just turned off during a daily challenge entirely just to make things a little less complicated on where a run actually ends. Which wouldn't be too strange, I suppose. If it's not this one, I will just continue on because I'm bored. Yeah, fair enough. You know what? Sometimes you live and learn. I'm actually gonna look up later if that doesn't work, because I'm a little curious about it now. But it is unfortunate. I really would have enjoyed it if that worked. Also, didn't take the goat head because I didn't think I would have to, because I was planning on teleporting to the Dark Room. Oh well. Let's see if we can speed this run up a little bit, at least by just playing a little bit quicker than usual. This could definitely be our downfall, but at least we got something out of the thing that spawns a buddy for us, so that is kind of nice. It's not the best one for sure, but it's not terrible either. There is a library there, which is not terrible. Could give us the old vision of the double. There we go. 3 books. That's all we really need for that. Let's just use all of these and go towards the super secret room. Might as well go into our secret room as well, because there is a curse room right next to it. Never very good at estimating where I actually have to stand for that, but it worked out in the end. Could have also just gone to the room next to it, since that's a singular room and then it's just the middle, but you know what? Sometimes you have to try. Singular Rune of Perthrow. That's gonna reroll an item, so that is nice. In the odds that we actually get another Devil Deal, and our Devil Deal odds are actually pretty high, given we did just get a Devil Deal. I guess it was an Excel floor, which does make things a little different. And I'm a little tempted to actually go for... Should I do another sacrifice room? Probably shouldn't, should I? That would be a little tedious. I'm also a little bit wondering what my item actually does. This is a really strong trinket, because this is going to spawn soul hearts, or half a soul heart rather, when I pick up a coin. Or at least it has a chance to do so, and the chance is honestly good enough to make it worthwhile to keep. Also, I'm very glowy. I guess that's scapular, which is fair enough. I have a lot of coins, so I should probably at least visit my shop, just to make life a little bit better, maybe. There could be a greed in there, one of them big old greeds. we'll just see if our shop is being kind to us today after the large quantity of time we spend ramming our heads into a set of spikes. Surely the game is feeling sorry for us. It is a shop. It sure is a shop. I believe that is the portable shop item, which when you use it, puts a random shop item in front of you that you can then buy with coins, which certainly probably has its uses somewhere. But not for me this run. Because I kind of like, again, the box. Pretty great box. Like to have it for the rest of this run, please, if needed. But let's just keep going. This floor went a little bit quicker than the previous, but again, it's an Excel floor, and also... Did I do everything? It really felt like a very small floor in comparison, but I guess that is where the name Excel comes from. Can you just shoot a laser, please? Because this is not great. I guess I was underneath you that time, but still, would have been okay if we just shot a laser from time to time. It just makes it a little bit easier to deal a large quantity of damage, especially with brimstone and brimstone-related items, like the ones we currently have. Let's take that. Increases our chance for a planetarium later on, which is nice. I will take Perthrow there. I do not know what that is, and I'm gonna take it because of it. Hot-blooded. Alright, cool. I will also take this because it's just really great. And let's just reroll the last one for a pentagram. Who needs health when you have damage? And let's take this as well. There is half a soul heart over there and some coins, so maybe we can get a little bit more health before moving on. Let's just bomb that as well. Even though the chance of getting a soul heart or heart in any way there is not great. It's got a card with tower card, pretty cool. I will just move on. I think this is acceptable. And hopefully we can get a planetarium on this floor because it would possibly make our lives a little nicer. Don't see a tinted rock here, don't feel like doing the room, so let's see if there's cool stuff in this direction instead. It's not that the room is particularly difficult, but if I could just deal with the other rooms first, that would be nice. Also, in terms of the other two items I picked up, at least one of them is... Well, one of them was extra damage, which is the pentagram, and then the other one is... you get damage up if you kill enemies in the room, which is going to be very useful for Mega Satan, because we're killing, well, everything. I think it's limited to, like... 10 enemies in the room or something like that, so you don't get infinite damage from it, but you get enough damage for it to be worthwhile. It's not a secret room next to this cursed room, probably. Probably enough that I'm not going to bother. Also, I have a red flame next to me, which is probably related to the item I picked up as well. It's probably pretty great. These are coin rocks? I feel like I've seen them before, but it is a new one for me. And also the rosary has an increased chance of spawning a Bible in the next couple of item rooms and things that I will be visiting. That's a new one. I've not actually seen this one before. Let's try it once. Huh. I mean, it's pretty much what I expected, I suppose, but... Yeah, fair enough. And he drops spiders, which is what devil beggars do now, which is unfortunate. I did enjoy blowing them up previously. Alright, so we got... that. I would actually like to have my Emperor card back, please. Thank you. Getting a lot of flames every time I take damage. It seems to spawn a flame, so that's actually pretty great. And it's, I can probably imagine which character unlocks this as well, but I'll get to that when I get to it. For now, let us just have a good time with our mini flames that deal many damage. We just have so many tears coming out of us right now. It would also be nice if the, whoops. Oh, I hit the rocks. I was confused about that one, but yeah, that makes sense, I suppose. Is that another library? I thought it was also on this floor that the library was, but I guess it was the previous one. Alright, so there's the Bible that I talked about previously. There's the bookworm. Did I not touch all the books? Huh, fair enough. Alright, Soul Heart from a Flame, sure. Tempted by the Bible, actually, although, yeah, again, box of friends. The Bible would make the mom fights a little quicker, but yeah, that's fine. Not gonna concern myself with it too much. I'm just gonna shoot high quantities of tears at the many enemies in this floor. There we go, a little brimstone doing some work. And hopefully we can at least use our Emperor card in either the womb or the shoal to speed up that process at least a little bit. And then we'll see if our build is strong enough to survive Mega Satan, but I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Broken Stopwatch is not terrible, but it's not great if it decides to work against you, so I'm just gonna pick up the card and this and move on with this speed down pill. Very good. Exactly what I desired. I guess if we get a Scarred Womb, I might actually just use the Emperor card there, because I'm still not truly confident about doing the Scarred Womb and not taking damage. So what are you gonna do? Let's just make sure we don't get stomped on. And use our friends to their maximum capacity. At least I got to use the Sacrifice Room in run number 2 of this series, and that's always a good time. I will say though that the daily challenges, I don't know, once I've unlocked everything, I'm probably not gonna do them again. I don't actually understand this. What does DR mean if I'm getting the Polaroid? Because DR to me stands for Dark Room, rather than the chest written with a D and an R. And it is a Scarred Womb, so you know what? I'm not feeling it. Also, I forgot to use the box in the previous fight, which is smart and cool. I'm very intelligent. I at least have a shield now, which is going to make Mega Satan easier, I suppose, but I'm still just a little bit... Does DR just stand for Daily Run? Probably does, isn't it? That's a little silly now that I think about it. Alright, so that's pretty good, but also I have this upside down cross above my head, and I was taking some damage earlier, and I'm not sure if those things are related. Have to show this one every time because it is amusing to me to have the cloud give Isaac the middle finger. Just this little thing. Oh, I just got a stat up? I don't understand this item. I'm realizing. Oh well, at least we're no longer in a Scarred Womb, so hopefully that's going to make life a little easier. We got these spinning bastards, which, quite frankly, I'm not great at, but they're in a very large room, so it doesn't really matter what I do from this point on. However, I'm realizing that my damage is not ideal to things that are moving, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue later on. At least Mega Satan stands pretty still most of the time. But given our health situation, I wouldn't mind finding something like a Tinted Rock somewhere in here. There is one right here. And somewhere along the line I got flight, so let's just take this speed down. Now, that really isn't a very strong damage up anymore, is it? I thought it was +1, but it's plus 0.83. Which is not great. God, you make a lot of noise. At least there's another Tinted Rock here for another chance of health. Nope, chest. Cool. But that is something we can turn into health, so that is good enough for me, I suppose. But a full soul heart, I wouldn't have minded. Would not have minded indeed. But I'm saying we're going in the more or less right direction so far, given how much we've traveled on this floor. And it seems that I am correct in terms of where we had to go. Isn't that wonderful? Wonderful indeed. Now let's look for a secret room real quick over here. I'm not sure if there was a rock blocking it, but it does seem like the secret room is there. I'm not sure where my super secret room is, but it might be in the bottom right. Might as well blow up this little person right there. Get a trinket that I do not require. If I could carry 2 trinkets, I would. But as it stands, I'd rather not. No super secret room, and I will just not bother with it any more than that then. Anyway. Let us deal with this. At least it does explain why the Sacrifice Room wasn't working, and maybe if it was actually a Dark Room Mega Satan, it would have worked. But genuinely don't know. Never really run into this particular situation before. So fair enough, I guess. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, there were a lot of tears there that were blocking my path there. Ah, well. Do I still have that Emperor card? I'm not sure whether I used it. Right, that did happen. For a brief moment I was like, oh yeah, I can just Emperor card, and then I didn't see it, and it very much confused me. A little bit of movement there to deal with the quickly moving worms, but after that, no problem at all. And I'm having a decent feeling about there maybe being a secret room, right? Yeah, look at that. Sometimes you just gotta believe in your feelings and hope that the rocks are indeed pointing at a secret room. And this time they were. Not really much of a point to destroy that guy right there. So let's just move on. I will actually use my box for this one because it's horrible. It's nice to just get them destroyed quickly. Plus in the big room it will be fully charged again, which is nice. Please give me some soul hearts though, because I do, again, I would like to be on full health when we are fighting the big one. Would make life a little safer, I suppose. But if not, we're just gonna have to try. Don't care much for these enemies because they shoot so much. But it worked out. Puberty, not terrible, but need 3 of them for it to do anything. Which is unlikely, I suppose. Now let's take care of these from a distance before they spawn a variety of floating babies that aim to destroy us. And that last one right there as well. Could pick up those coins in a second and maybe get a couple more soul hearts as well. But as it stands, our trinket is not feeling it. I guess if that trinket was as good as the other ones in terms of dropping things when you pick up coins, it would be insanely powerful. And I kind of understand, I guess. Also, we got a leech somewhere along the line, probably because we took the damage a lot. So I'm just going to sit here and shoot with my brimstone. Wait for this fight to be over, because quite frankly, this room can suck it. It's just really how it is. Don't care for it. Health up, not what you really want to see. Because I kind of wanted to have my Polaroid active for the Mega Satan fight. But that's really on me for using pills willy-nilly, I suppose. I was hoping for Balls of Steel, but instead we got the one thing I didn't really want. It's going to make the fight a little more difficult, but hopefully we can manage. No super secret room again, unfortunately, unless it's over here. Yeah, look at that. Well, not terrible. It's gonna make some flies spawn every time I enter a room, so that's not too bad. And I might actually do a couple of the rooms when... Well, I might actually just go back into the cathedral to charge up my box again after this fight. Because I'm not loving the idea of trying to do Mega Satan without the duplicated babies right there. This room, this battle doesn't really work exactly the same anymore, I feel. Like you don't really have the super safe spots that you can stand in at all times. I have been getting more hits in the corners as of late, I feel. But you can at least tell where they are going to land, so you can use that accordingly. That is a little bit of a different experience for sure. Actually having to dodge the attacks instead of just doing the standard movements every single time. And really the main reason why I want to do this rather than the chest is because there is a chance of getting soul hearts here, and it's usually just a little bit higher than it is in the chest, unless you get an item that actually gives it, or a boss that drops soul hearts, I suppose. But only one room left to go. We could just do one room in the chest at least, just to have a good time with it, at least show it off somewhat. But we are nearing the end of this daily challenge, it looks like. Let us see. No Curse of the Blind, which is great. There is Milk, which is not terrible. These are all items. I could reroll my entire build just for fun. It would be fun. I'm thinking about it. I'm very much thinking about it. It could make my build truly terrible, and I think it removes an item as well. Like you'll have one less item after you use it. But it is fun. It could very much ruin my chances of victory. However, yeah, that was just a stat down overall, wasn't it? Yeah, not a great idea, but that's what it is. We did get the Psy-Fly. Is that the Psy-Fly or is it just a bad one? I think it's just a bad one, actually. Ay. Oh well. We got money equals power. That's not too bad. So let's just see if that was as terrible of an idea as it looked like, because it truly does appear to be. Doing some damage at least, it seems. We're getting some slow shots as well. but I will say that this was probably not optimal. I will admit to that this time. But it's not a terrible build for sure. We have some fear effects. We still have flight, which is nice. We are still getting damage up. Oh, we still have the Lusty Blood or whatever it's called. So we will at least get some more damage as this fight progresses, which is wonderful. We have that thing, which is going to make scary ghost sounds every now and then when we kill something or another. We got some coins when we took damage. I am pretty much not moving at this point because death slowed me down. Yeah, it's a wacky one because our head is gone now, so my hitbox is basically almost invisible. What are you gonna do about it? Provided that this guy isn't gonna start screaming at me, I don't really have to move to the side, so I can just keep shooting him like this. The little spider is doing his best, which is wonderful. And hopefully this is gonna spawn some ghosts here when we kill these enemies. I'm honestly not sure how that item works, but something is making ghosts. Maybe when I take damage or something like that? I don't know. Don't worry about it. We're just here to kill Mega Satan and end our daily challenge and no longer have to worry about all that stuff. We have a decent amount of hearts here as well, actually, which is nice. Oh boy. That was an unfortunate place for many bombs. Also, we dropped his soul heart when we took damage. Jesus. He's feeling it today. Sometimes he likes to throw the mini bombs, and this time was one of those days. And yeah, sometimes the spooky ghosts are really doing some work here. That's okay, though. I'm surprised how good this build actually still is, given re-rolling it made it seemingly a lot worse at the start, but having Lusty Blood at all is such a boon. It's such a strong item that it almost negates the fact that I got rid of Tiny Brim, which definitely would have helped out. Now, provided this guy's hands don't glow, I can just sit next to him forever. Once his hands start glowing, gotta look out for that. But let's just shoot Mega Satan for a while. I think his second phase is a little bit more durable than it was back in the day. But that's okay. And, oh, still not a yell. Still no brimstone coming out of this one's mouth. We could use the ball and chain to actually just hide here, and that'll probably stop most of the tears coming towards us as well. But the angle on it is not wonderful. But let's see how well this works. Kinda. It actually works really well against this particular attack, at least. I can just stand here and wait. Hopefully that's the case for all of his attacks, so I can just sit here and not press any buttons. So far, the double ball and chain strat is working flawlessly. Probably not here, though? Yeah, it's not great. Not terrible either. Yeah, fair enough. Look at him go. We're definitely dealing some amount of damage. His skull is becoming somewhat chipped. He's being slowed by those two spiders. This is such a dumb build, but it's so effective. The double ball and chain, the one strat that no one expected. But here we are, slowly but surely whittling down Mega Satan. It's one of those items that you never really... Like, really, the ball and chain for a lot of situations is just a detriment, because it ends up blowing up, like, explosive rocks and stuff like that, and it just makes life a lot more dangerous most of the time. But this time around, for this particular situation, pretty great. Pretty great. We won our first daily challenge. We got the Mega Satan bonus there. We got some rank, so cool, I guess. And we did it. And we have our one step closer to unlocking things related to daily challenges. So that's good. Next time we play, we're just gonna do probably a regular runner run, maybe a green mode. I don't know yet. We're gonna go just whatever I feel like at the time when recording this. And this is not gonna be a series that you might not learn a lot. I'm just gonna put that one out there. We're just doing this for fun, to chill out and relax, and that is what this series is about. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see y'all next time when we try out possibly a different character. I'm probably just gonna pick random every time, but we'll see what happens. But I hope to see y'all there. Bye bye.